Alright, hey there everyone, and my name is Nubaeus. I run my own channel at youtube.com/ImproveYourLoL, and also I tend to do some live casting for the NESL and a couple other teams. I just did a Pro Series game recently. That was a lot of fun, got right around 10, 11, 12,000 viewers, somewhere in that range. But anyway, we are going to be following around this Teemo. Looks like the name is Lickle, and Teemo, generally you take him to a top lane, and he doesn't go for a standard AD build, he doesn't go for a standard AP build, generally speaking. The more effective way of playing Teemo is by going on hit. And on hit Teemo, once he gets a couple items going, is very, very scary because he gets kind of tanky. He also is able to put out a lot of damage before anyone managed to get on top of him, because he does have his Q, that blinding dart, and that will block a couple of auto attacks for 1.5 seconds, and that's tremendous. That means that no one, like say it's a melee like Olaf or Riven, no auto attacks are going to go off for 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds is a huge deal in terms of trading, especially in the laning phase. And then another thing that is a great bonus to Teemo's kit is Move Quick. It gives him passive movement speed unless he's been damaged by a champion or turret. And then the active gives him a big burst of speed. That does not get removed when he is hit. But then the big source of his early game damage is this Toxic Shot. So that's generally going to be maxed first. And that is his E ability. And what that does is every single auto attack, besides the physical damage that his auto attacks deal, they will also deal an on-hit magic damage and also a slight little magical damage dot, meaning damage over time. You see here, he's actually being a nice Teemo and assisting his jungler in doing the wolves, and then will mostly also be helping him out on the blue buff. And that's always a good thing because Olaf did start boots and health potions, so you want to try to reduce as much damage as possible, try to help him through his jungle a little bit faster, so he can then get into the ganking phase a lot quicker. So actually not going to help out with quite as much damage as I would have expected, but Olaf should still be quite fine, and we're going up against a Renekton. Renekton is known for his incredibly strong early game, but at the same time, because Teemo is ranged and Renekton is melee, we're going to see a big difference in Renekton's style of play, because it's going to be a lot tougher for Renekton early on to farm. If Renekton does get forced out of lane, his life will be very tough, but at the same time, if he can keep on top of Teemo, if he can keep up and farm and possibly get some harass on Teemo himself, Renekton will actually be rather scary. But it seems like Olaf is coming in for a level 2 gank right now. And look at how much damage Renekton takes. That magic damage on top of the damage Olaf gave. We see Ignite going out on Renekton, but at the same time Renekton following suit. But for some reason using Ignite for no real reason. Teemo is trying to secure a kill, which is what you want Ignite for generally, unless you're just trying to be super aggressive early on. We see your Teemo with armor and 5 health potions, and Renekton started with Boots 3. Boots 3 against Teemo is generally a good start, but at the same time Renekton was already forced to use what seems like 2. My vision's a little blocked, but yeah, no big deal. And then we see Teemo forced to use 1 potion, and he is quite fine. Renekton is going to be forced to farm under his tower, and early on that gets a little bit tough because he doesn't quite have the 80 to farm up all those last hits. And now you see the strength of Renekton's early game harassment, using his E to dash back and forth, combine that with his stun, and once at level 3 also have his Q. So Teemo could take a huge amount of chunk damage and be forced to use a couple more health potions, and Renekton can also passively heal through his Q. At the same time, we see Teemo at level 3, no blinding dart yet. We just have Move Quick, 1 point in Move Quick, 2 points in Toxic Shot, and let's see, is he going to be able to secure this kill? Because Renekton is being super aggressive, and that is the strength of early game Renekton. Renekton hit level 3, was able to get on top of Teemo and heal up with the Q. I mean, there's not much Teemo can really do. They both used all their summoners, and at the same time, Renekton's damage is so strong. Teemo needs those items to be more effective in the game. And you're going to see that he's going to fall because he just simply is lacking that damage. Renekton, even going against a Renekton with cloth armor, his damage is still so high because his abilities scale so well early on. So you're going to be using Move Quick to get back to lane. It's a nice choice because you want to get back to lane as fast as possible, because it appears that Renekton is actually trying to push this lane up. So Renekton with an early game kill is going to make it very scary for Teemo. Especially since, just like at the farm real quick, Teemo's is at 14 CS, Renekton is at 16, and I believe Renekton also has just about a level advantage as well. And not landing landing 1 last hit, 2 last hits under the tower, so we're going to be even in last hits, but at the same time, that 1 kill is going to net roughly an 18-19 farm difference. So if Teemo wants to catch up, he's got to catch up and farm in a big way and not get forced out of lane. So now we see Renekton actually taking huge amounts of damage. He could actually even go down right now. So Teemo is actually going to return the kill, so now he is actually going to be just a tad bit ahead of Renekton. With Renekton going down, we can't quite see what item he's buying because if you keep the body in vision, sometimes you can pick off what item they pick up. But he did die in that bush, and Teemo's not checking that out, so we're not going to see immediately what Renekton's going to come back with. But at the same time, it looks like Teemo's team is feeding just a little bit. Not intentionally, though. Malphite got off a very nice gank down there. So Teemo did return with boots. That's going to make his life a little bit easier because Renekton, once he uses his Slice and Dice, which are his dashes, if Teemo can get out of the way before Renekton stuns, there's not much Renekton can do. So if you combine, once you see that first Slice and Dice come out, immediately pop that move quick, and with the boots, Teemo should be very safe. That's always a good thing, being safe as Teemo. But a little trick to Renekton that you could be seeing is Renekton can use his first dash through creep, use the second to actually get on top of Teemo, and then that's when his life gets a little bit tough. But playing against Renekton, if you do see him dashing on you, if you pop that blind just before you manage to get off that stun, I do believe that it does not apply the on-hit effect of the stun, it's just the stun. Because apparently, from what I understand, it does, Renekton's W, which is his stun, does, it's supposed to be like a melee hit, but if he's blinded, those melee hits don't land, and that reduces quite a bit of damage. So now we see Renekton is going to be on the back foot now, because Teemo does have access to his mushrooms, and those little mushrooms can be rather pesky. Because now Teemo can just plant mushrooms all along the side. Renekton won't really have a clear idea as to where he can go. Now we see him dashing in, getting off some good harass and trying to dash out, but at the same time, Teemo, once he dashes out, Teemo's really at no risk of getting killed. Renekton without his ult is not going to be able to heal up, so going to possibly trade kills here. Teemo just going to barely get out with 22 health. Wow, very well done. So Teemo's going to go back and buy, he's saying 1 HP, but that wasn't the case. But one thing that was very smart, he started running a health potion as he went in for that fight. Teemo knew he was low, he knew Renekton might try to turn and be super aggressive. Even though he was ignited, that health regen from the health potion did save his life. So we're going to come back, we're getting what looks like going to be a Wriggle's Lantern. So that's going to add a little bit more armor, a lot more damage, and some lifesteal. We don't have the Wriggle's Lantern completed yet, but we do have the Vampiric Scepter, which is a telltale sign that he does want to go for that Wriggles. Because then the Wriggles also gives him free wards. Combine that with the mushrooms, the jungler, it's going to be rather tough for that jungler to come in and gank. So we're running back to lane here. I'm not going to fast forward at all because I'm trying to sync up with CPG's wave because I simply submitted an audio file, so he's just going to lock it on this Teemo and whatnot. Now we see Renekton at level 6. He's going to try to be super aggressive with double Dorns, but at the same time, Teemo's going to try to kite him over as many mushrooms as he can. He does have some health potions, and if you can get Renekton over a mushroom, Teemo's going to be able to lean into him rather nicely. But you do have to be wary of Renekton's ultimate because it does heal him at level 6, I believe for 250 to 300 health, kind of like a mini Lulu ult. Now we see just the strength of Renekton right here. We're getting kited over a mushroom, but at the same time, there's not much Teemo can do. He could turn an auto attack and get off a little more harass, but Renekton will be able to easily heal that up between his ultimate and his Q. Now Teemo is at great risk right here. Renekton gets one. Here we go. The flash. If we get to the dash off, Teemo is going to be dead. Teemo being forced to use flash. Renekton did flash as well. Now we've seen Teemo being forced to farm under his tower, and Renekton with his ultimate can easily tower dive, which is going to be very scary. But Teemo being very smart, using his harassment while the slice of the dice is on cooldown. That's sort of what he needs to do, but we see the Wriggle's making it a lot easier to farm, getting a lot of lucky procs off, and at the same time the physical damage combined with the rank 4 toxic shot making it very easy to last hit. So now we're going back, completing the Wriggles. Surprised we're not completing any sort of boots yet. A little bit of extra move speed goes a long way against Renekton. Want to kite that melee. But at the same time, the Wriggle's Lantern will make it a little bit easier to farm as well. Give him a little bit of a boost in lifesteal. I do believe I'm going to check that out real quick. Yes, because Vamp Scepter is 10%. I was correct. Wriggle's Lantern giving him 12%, but at the same time, Teemo's not going to have quite as much AD compared to most physical damage champs. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to heal that up, so we are picking up some more health potions as well. So now just looking at the farm difference, we have 2 kills, 1 death compared to Renekton's 1 kill, 2 deaths, but Renekton does have 42 farm compared to Teemo's 39, so Teemo is still very much ahead. At the same time, it looks like waiting for Renekton to show his face. Teemo using move quickly. Look, Renekton's still able to kind of catch up very nicely. And that's kind of the issue, is why you want those tier 2 boots rather quickly against Renekton, because you could go attack speed, you could go Ninja Tabby boots. And Ninja Tabby are incredibly strong against Renekton because he's very much physical damage, and his W, like I said earlier, kind of counts as, I believe it does count as an auto attack. 10% reduction in auto attacks is so big. So now Renekton is a little bit scared right now. He's playing a little bit more timid under the tower. It seems like Lux is coming up for a gank as well if you take a look at the minimap. At the same time, Morgana's coming in for a gank, missing the bind, but at the same time we could get her ultimate going off, going to be possibly finishing off Teemo, but she ran over a Teemo mushroom and actually died to Teemo. Very surprising. And then I'm watching in the corner. It looks like Lux is fighting with Malphite. And Lux is probably going to go down to this Malphite because Malphite does have the red buff. So see if she does manage to get away. Renekton will be right there able to clean up that kill. So it seems like Malphite's not going to commit. Malphite being out of mana. And yeah, it's going to be very safe over there. Teemo looks like he's going to be possibly rushing a Wit's End or Mercury Treads, because Mercury Treads does reduce the stun. But, I mean, once you're stunned, Renekton does give out his combo very quickly, so the stun reduction isn't that big of a deal. Some people may disagree with me, but if you just watch how quickly the combo can go off for Renekton, especially with a good Renekton, I mean, it's very scary. So the no magic mantle in my mind is going to be going towards a Wit's End, the on-hit effect, which is what makes Teemo so strong. And at the same time, I don't know if the game is getting scrolled through, but if we are locked in on Teemo, we did see a nice kill go on to Olaf against Renekton. Lux picking up the assist there, and Teemo's actually going to be able to farm freely right now. So even though I believe Morgana picked up the kill, yes, Morgana picked up the kill, Renekton got the assist, Renekton is actually getting a Brutalizer going. Double Doran's Brutalizer is a very strong item. Tend to get that on Renekton, Lee Sin, or some other 80 bruisers. It's actually very strong on Irelia as well. See Teemo running down because Olaf is fighting one-on-one against Morgana, and Teemo wants to try to get some assistance in on this. And actually, if we can get off in blinding, getting bound. If he did manage to dodge that binding, Morgana could have easily died, but that's not going to happen. Morgana going to safely get away. So I'm looking at the replay timer. We still have a good ways to go in terms of this game. It doesn't seem like we're be seeing an early surrender at the 20-minute mark, but we do see Teemo mushrooming up Malphite's jungle, and if you see the points where he's tossing those mushrooms, it's going to make Malphite's life very tricky because Malphite has to run through all of these points, and it'll be very easy for Teemo to know where that jungler is. So you see him running back to that Renekton. Renekton actually being just over a little bit more than a level above. I believe Teemo's probably, I'd say, half a bar of experience between the two. And Teemo, once he cleans up this farm, should be relatively even once again. But Renekton, with 1,300 health with his ultimate, should be hovering around 1,800 health. That's going to be very tough for Teemo to rip through, especially with all the damage you see. Renekton with a quick little combo dealing just over half of Teemo's health. Ooh, and that's going to be very rough. It's going to be hard to sustain through that, even with the Wriggles Lantern sustain. So we see Renekton once again flashing in here using a big dash. We're going to be seeing an ultimate being popped by Renekton, and it's going to be very tough for Teemo to do much of anything. He did ignite Renekton, but Renekton, he did have 1,850 health. That Ignite's not going to do that much damage, even with the tower attacking him. So picking up the Mark Treads, trying to reduce the stun, but at the same time, generally Ninja Tabby is safer, like I've been saying, because you want to reduce that physical damage. And Renekton is all physical damage, except for his ultimate aura, but that's not a very big deal. So we do have just over 100 gold. And we're still sitting on 2 health potions, so no real big items coming out as of yet. So in terms of going against Renekton, you'll generally safer off once you get around that 150, 160 armor mark, which is a lot. Yes, it is indeed a lot. But at the same time, with that Brutalizer, it's going to reduce, what was it? I believe it's 20 armor? 25 armor. Let's check that out real quick on the scoreboard. It's actually 15 armor penetration, so I am incorrect in that regard. But at the same time, you need that armor and a little bit more health to try to get through that Renekton's damage. So Teemo is very good in terms of countering top laners, most top laners, but Renekton is one of those top laners where it's, if he gets ahead, I'm kind of screwed, because Renekton is a very, very good tower diver because his ult gives him that quick heal. You see, still doing rather well on farm. Renekton is 1 farm ahead. At the same time, Renekton having 2 kills, Teemo having 3. So Teemo is still relatively ahead, but at the same time, Renekton is scary. So if Teemo does get a gank, he'll definitely fare much better. But at the same time, Renekton one-on-one is still incredibly strong. For some reason, Renekton just kind of hanging around. Looks like he ran over a couple of mushrooms. Trying to dash in onto the Teemo. Teemo planting a very lucky mushroom, just managing to pop it on Renekton's face. And now we're seeing big amounts of harass coming on Renekton. Renekton going down to half health right here. And when you dropped even lower, because that Toxic Shot is going to keep ticking over time, and especially with the new scaling. I don't know when this replay was done, but Teemo was just buffed recently to have his AP scaling a little bit higher, so that Toxic Shot is going to be even scarier. Also, that Blinding Dart as well. So, very nice job. See, being able to avoid both the Renekton Slice and Dice charges is what is going to make you fare so much better. So, movement speed quints and tier 2 boots combined with that move quick, that's actually how you're going to beat a Renekton. That's the strength of movement speed in this game. It's so strong because you can avoid ganks, you can engage into your own ganks, chase so nicely, at the same time avoid everything. But now, Teemo could be in a bit of trouble because Renekton does have his ultimate up, and Morgana is just kind of waiting to pop her ultimate as well. So that's going to be his demise right here. So he was very good job in dodging that binding, but at the same time, Morgana and Renekton having very good gap closers and ultimates that Teemo was kind of screwed. So let's see, the death recap. Morgana did manage to pick up that kill, and Renekton picked up the assist, so Renekton is going to start to get a little bit further ahead. And Teemo actually going for a Ruby Crystal, so we could be seeing a Phage coming out, so it'll be very nice in trying to kite Renekton. And if he does manage to avoid the dashes and the stun, once Renekton tries to run away, he will most likely be slowed, assuming Teemo does pick up that Phage sometime soon. So looking at the difference, the goal difference isn't very much at this point in time. We're even on kills. Looking at the farm, going back and forth, it seems like the purple team may actually be ahead. Actually, on my screen they are the red team, but the team in the top right corner is actually going to be a little bit ahead, and seems like in farm. So they're going to have a slight gold lead, and actually LeBlanc being a little bit of a jerk and pushing up the top lane while Morgana pushes Lux's turret. So Teemo running around planting more mushrooms, trying to keep vision on when he may be getting ganked once again. But he does see that the red buff is up, so he may be trying to lock that one down, potentially. But he does not have any view on Malphite or Renekton, so he's going to try to cheekily get this one in. Going to kite it over the mushrooms because, mushrooms are free damage if you do have them placed already. So we're going to take the red buff. That's going to make his life a lot easier. It's going to act like a free Phage for him, along with true damage taking on Renekton. It's going to be very scary now for Renekton. Even though he is a little bit ahead, we do not see him quite yet. They could be grouping up for Dragon, but at the same time, he could also be disconnected, so you never know. The team being very smart, realizing that Renekton still hasn't shown his face, so let's push it to the tower. Deny Renekton some experience. We get some free tower damage. And using the mushrooms to help push that lane. That's a very strong thing about Teemo. So generally, you're thinking he doesn't have any sort of big wave clearing attack AoE ability, but once you throw in if you have a mushrooms to spare, you throw it down in a wave of creep, they're going to go down a lot faster. Look at how much damage Renekton takes with the Toxic Shot and then the red buff damage. Just one little auto attack. Renekton lost, let's say, looked like just over 100 health, and that's a lot of health to lose just for one hit, especially with some ticks running. So not popping the move quick immediately, and that's generally why he's taking so much damage. You want to use that move quick. Actually, now going to use the move quick to chase. Very interesting. Surprised we're not seeing an ignite. There comes the ignite, but now Renekton being forced to use his ultimate and going over another mushroom. Teemo could actually net this kill. Very nice job. That red buff ignite doing so much damage. Combine that with the Toxic Shot, and then reducing Renekton's ability to sustain a little bit more with that ignite. And that's how Teemo managed to land that kill. Very nice kiting over mushrooms he knew that he already had planted, and saving up a mushroom or two just so he can try to get a little bit more of a gap closer and a little more damage on that Renekton. So now we're actually going to be pulling ahead of... It's kind of a back and forth deal right now. Renekton being 2-5-2, Teemo 4-4-0 with, looks like 7... Oh my, I can't do math. 8 farm over Renekton right now, 94-86. So now Teemo going to actually now have that Phage, so now with very good kiting ability, my guess is the next item will be either a Malady or a Wit's End, depending on what he wants to go for. Malady reduces the magic resistance and does an on-hit ability. I'll combine that with a little bit more attack speed and ability power, which scales very nicely with Teemo now once again. Or the Wit's End, which gives him a nice little magic resistance buff, as well as attack speed and magic damage on hit. So you can go either route. If Renekton does pick up any sort of magic resistance, Malady may be a good first buy. But at the same time, if Teemo wants to be a little bit tankier against Morgana, Malphite, and looks like Nidalee, that Wit's End could make a little bit more of a difference. But now we see Renekton trying to dash in, but not going to be able to land that stun, and that's why Move Quick is so strong. You see now Renekton's being forced to go on the defensive. The red buff and Phage slows. Combine that with the on-hit damage and the damage over time. Look how much damage Renekton takes. And Renekton may not have his ultimate up, even though he does have that cool two cooldown reduction items. He still could be sitting very timidly. So Teemo going to be going down to ward. Actually, some Morgana coming down here, and Malphite. If Teemo can actually manage to flash, just flashing away, didn't try to flash over the wall, but at the same time, could be forcing a big team fight right here. Twitch coming in, Olaf being very low. At the same time, Teemo kind of charging in. I don't know if Malphite used his ultimate. I didn't quite pick that one up. It did sound like it went off, so Teemo kind of trying to back off with the rest of his team, though now playing a very risky game. Trying to pick off Morgana here. Morgana still has his ultimate up, so we'll see how this one does work out. Morgana using her black shield, but that's going to go off very quickly. Morgana going down very easily to Lux. Teemo picking up the assist, and at the same time, we do see Teemo going back up into that lane. Renekton was forced to go back because he was rather low on health, and at the same time, we do see Malphite pushing this lane up. Malphite being rather strong right now, and now my dog is barking in the background. My apologies. And you see Teemo just chasing that Malphite down, keeping him slow, but for some reason not choosing to commit. Actually going to be opting to go for all of this farm. So very nice job. Going to pick up and farm once again. Get a nice, good chunk of gold. Going to be ever closer to his recurve bow, which is, I believe, 40% attack speed. Let's take a quick check at that. Yeah, it does apply 40% attack speed, and we are at that gold point now because it does cost 1,050 gold. And it seems like with Talon we're going to be pushing a very quick tower. The tower going down very fast. I'd say a very quick tower is more along the lines of 14-15 minutes. We're at the 20-21 minute mark where you generally do see towers start to go down a little bit faster. And we should be seeing a grouping for the team fight phase very soon. So now it seems like Nidalee and Twitch getting caught by a mushroom, and Teemo, it may have been warded, so they probably did spot Teemo there. So we'll see if Teemo managed to do much of anything, because Twitch does have a BF sword, but Teemo picking up the kill onto Nidalee and now using Move Quick to swiftly get away. Ooh, but Renekton is here. Lux is trying to help him out any way she can. Not quite using her... she did use her shield, but did not land it onto Teemo. Teemo trying to last hit, trying to get any sort of health that he can back right now. Using a health potion, and they're just gunning right for that Teemo. Teemo, as everyone knows, has that global taunt, but with the Move Quick, going to be able to run towards the bottom lane. But is Renekton going to know where Teemo is? It's all dependent on where these wards are. Teemo actually opting to go in the bush and possibly just stay stealth. Renekton actually decided to go back and fight, while Teemo, is he going back? He is choosing to go back and recall. So it seems like Lux and Olaf are going to pick off a couple of kills. At the same time, Teemo getting away safely, so that global taunt working out in their favor this time. So Teemo is actually, instead of going for the recurve bow, is going for a frozen mallet. Very interesting to see. So opting to not go with the damage, but he wants to have that ability to have a guaranteed slow, 40% guaranteed slow on that frozen mallet, and be a little bit tankier. And now Teemo talking a little bit of trash, saying that's how you play Teemo. You got to kite everyone through your team because, you know, everyone wants to kill that low health Teemo because no one likes Teemo, especially Cottontail Teemo. He just hops around like a little bit of a jerk. He just doesn't care. But now, once again, getting some nice farm. 5, 4, and 1. And just looking at these items, Teemo is doing rather well for himself. So in terms of how the game is working out, even though Lux kind of does fall off, she is getting decently fed. Twitch doesn't have anything in much of farm or kills or assists, so Twitch is going to be very much behind. Actually, it's a 4-on-5. I didn't even notice that, but Ezreal's been disconnected this whole game, so it was a 1v2 in the bot lane. Wow. So let's see, was it Talon in the bot lane? 3, 1, and 2? That's very surprising to see. It was a 4-on-5 and they're doing this well. So Teemo looked like he may try to chase after this Renekton. Renekton without any sort of real damage once he got his brutalizer. That's very, very surprising. So anyway, going to try to force Renekton out of the game once again. Not out of the game, but out of the lane. But Renekton, since we are at this stage in the game, Renekton without any sort of real kills or farm, he's going to be essentially useless later on. He's going to be just a big meat shield with his ultimate. Oh. So anyway, still at 4v5. Team's saying, all right, we are still going for 4-on-5. Ezreal there's no way he's going to return. So we just got to group up and play as a team. They do realize that they are ahead. They can win team fights 4-on-5 because they are so much ahead. Because generally speaking, once your team reaches close to that 8, 9, 10,000 gold lead mark, which they seem like they're approaching very soon, once that does happen, it's almost impossible to lose a team fight unless someone makes a big mistake, even if it is 4-on-5. So anyway, we are seeing Teemo completing his frozen mallet right now. And I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be seeing as next, because the replay is starting to come to the later stage. And looking like we may be pushing a tower, so I got distracted for a quick second. Twitch trying to do anything he can to try to defend this tower, but Twitch trying to get his Infinity Edge 25 minutes into the game, still without, he only has a BF Sword and a Pickaxe, whereas you're looking at these other champions, we've got Lux with a Rod of Ages, needlessly large rod, Doran's Ring, Talon with a Ginsu's Rage Blade, Yomu's Ghost Blade, excuse me, I'm getting the name incorrect, but Malphite landing his ultimate on only Talon, so Talon is actually going to be picked off, but at the same time, landing only one big CC. Morgana trying to force her ultimate, but at the same time, only landing onto Olaf, who does have disables removed. Let's see how this team fight does in fact work out. Teemo doing all he can to shut down this Renekton. It does appear that, who's out of the picture? Nidalee may go down. No, Nidalee's going to be able to heal herself up, and Teemo is getting chased. If he puts down one quick mushroom, he could possibly live, but no, that Dark Shield, the shield going to go onto Malphite, going to be very safe, and Teemo also going down. So this actually could be very scary. We could be seeing a surrender from the blue team right now, surprisingly enough. Even though they had a very nice lead, Lux landing a very nice binding onto Nidalee. I'm kind of jumping onto the fight, not following Teemo right now. At the same time, Lux getting cleaned up. So it's actually a 3-4, I believe, 2 exchange. So that team fight definitely going in favor of the red or purple team, depending on how you look at it. But at the same time, it actually was a 4. There was a 4-for-2 exchange. My apologies, because Talented and Olaf did in fact go down. They just respawned very quickly. So now we do see Teemo not having enough gold to really pick up much of anything. We're seeing him just kind of sit here in the fountain. Not entirely sure what he's trying to do. Oh, asking if he can just split push, because with all the split pushing going on, the purple team or red team were forced to kind of chase after Teemo, and then that allowed his team to kind of try to pick off kills with Teemo running away. And that was actually a very good strategy, because Teemo late game, he's not so effective in team fights. He's there to try to split push and draw people away. So you do see Renekton did just run through a mushroom right there, so Teemo knows that he is still safe. Renekton's not going to be coming anytime soon. So Teemo's going to freely farm, try to pick up some items, and it seems like since I was incorrect with the Frozen Mallet, I'm not going to try to guess what he is going to get next, but an assumption could be Frozen Mallet, not Frozen Mallet, we already do have the Frozen Mallet, it will be Wits End or Malady, but at the same time we could see him go a little bit more on the Lifesteal Bloodthirster route, or even a Madred's Blood Razor, depending on what he decides to go. Because if you do look here, no, we're not seeing much in the way of magic resistance at all. Actually, I'm not seeing any magic resistance for the enemy team right now, so Madred's Blood Razor could be super effective against the health pools of Renekton and Malphite, and even Morgana right now, too. So that could be very interesting to see. At the same time, Madred's Blood Razor is so expensive. It takes quite a long time to build. It does cost 3,800 gold. Without much in the way of farm, and it seems like you could hear my dog running away once again. Yep, there goes the barking. My apologies. Oh, so I'm actually going to mute my mic for a moment. So there, it seems like I may have gotten him to shut up, but he could just erupt at any point in time. Seems like he's going for it once again. But anyway, trying to push up the lanes as much as they can, trying to land these towers, trying to get any sort of pick that they can, because I don't know if CPG does have the game timer still up for the replay, but it seems like we are getting to a point where either team could end it out right here. So Malphite with a huge ultimate on the Teemo, but Teemo with the move quick, even though he is getting slowed, still very quick, cutting people over his mushrooms. We'll see what he does manage to pull off. So we see Teemo just barely managing to get away once again. And now we're sitting just about 1,300 gold, so if he does go back and buy, we could be seeing some more attack speed come out, which in turn will give him a good chunk of damage, because we are severely lacking in the attack speed department right now for an on-hit Teemo. He's not opting to go with any sort of AP damage, so don't have to worry about any ability power come out, because we do see he does have 4 ability power from, looks like his masteries, may pick up a little bit more from his Ignite, but there's nothing more really coming out from him, so the safe assumption is he is trying to get to the on-hit stage, but no real bonus to attack speed, which is what makes him so strong. So we're going to push up this bottom lane. All they're trying to do is keep these lanes pushed, trying to get any sort of farm they can. And when you push up a lane, it does give vision as well. So it seems like we're at the 1,700. Could be going back at the 2,000-ish gold mark. Let's see, what can we get at 2,000 gold? Wits End is 2,150. Malady is 1,825. At the same time, at Gnasher's Tooth, which does give a little bit more ability power, and attack speed and cooldown reduction. You could also go that route, but that's a little bit pricier compared to the other two items at 2,615. So everyone's saying report Ezreal. We could be seeing a surrender come out right about now with everyone saying with the reports and whatnot. And with, oh, it looks like the whole purple team is gone. They could be on Baron right now because they did spot Teemo in the bot lane. They know it's a 4-on-5. With Teemo at the bottom lane, it would be a 3-on-5 fight. Let's see. We do see Morgana not with a Baron buff, so it seems like they did not take advantage of this quite yet. So let's see what does happen. Teemo is looking like he's going for the Wits End. Very smart choice on his part. Going to be a little bit tanking against Malphite, Morgana, and Nidalee. So he just needs a little more gold. He's at 450 right now, so he needs just about 250 gold to complete that item. That's going to make him a lot stronger. Just the attack speed alone gives him just about a 0.4 in terms of attack speed. So he's going to be attacking at 1.4 attack speed, assuming he's not coming from stealth. Actually, it seems like the game just ended. Actually, no, my timer is a little bit busted. Things froze up for a bit. So let's see what happens. This next team fight could be the deciding factor. So you see Teemo with the red buff trying to push up onto Nidalee right here. And that tower is very low, so he could, in theory, just push his tower and then go for the kill on Nidalee. But the dot is still taking on Nidalee, so Teemo's going to tank the tower for a little bit, but the tower does go down fairly quickly. Malphite with another ult on a single person. And let's see what happens here. So you see Teemo focusing on this Malphite. Malphite know where he can go. His ultimate has been used. A nice binding from Lux. And Flash is being forced to use all around. So Malphite and Nidalee are low, and Twitch as well. So Teemo, with that frozen mount, be able to tank a lot more than you may expect. So getting the double kill onto Nidalee, and Malphite is going to get the triple kill onto Twitch. Ooh, man. Morgana being bound by Lux, and let's see what happens here. Morgana getting very low. Let's see what matches happen. Who gets the kill? A quadra kill from Teemo. Let's see what happens next. Oh man, Renekton being forced to run, forced to use the ult. Is Teemo going to get the penta kill? Let's see. He's got the red buff. He's got the frozen mallet slow. He's got the attack speed. Oh my god, this is the and the penta kill. Not quite getting the announcement on the penta kill. It was a delayed penta. Wow, very nice job. A 4-on-5 penta kill. Wow. So Teemo's going to pick up that Wits End and possibly even the beginnings of a Melody right now. And the purple team does decide to surrender. Wow, so a 4-on-5 victory. Even after losing 2 team fights, it seemed to be a little bit grim. Very nice turnaround, and we do see a very cool pentakill for Teemo and a surrender victory. So in closing, my name is Nubaeus. You can catch me at youtube.com/ImproveYourLoL. You can also follow me on Twitter at ImproveYourLoL as well. Or you can follow me. I do some live streaming at twitch.tv/Nubaeus. So with that being said, thank you, Casual Pro Gamer, for the casting opportunity, and I will see you guys next time.